Is your coach telling you to train harder, harder than last time, maybe? Well, I'm here to tell you your coach might be an idiot. What's up, guys? Hong Nguyen, OG Fitness. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new, this channel is about fitness for martial arts for older guys. If you're young, don't worry about it. You're going to be old soon enough. And with the right mindset and approach, you're going to go really far in your journey. Okay, if you can avoid major setbacks and injuries and whatnot. Okay, so this video, we're going to dive right into it. Training harder. You guys seen this, you guys heard this from your coaches, you watch videos on YouTube and you see these compilations of how hard these athletes are working and all that. And I'm here to tell you it's all nonsense. They don't actually work that hard. Now, when you watch a video, what it is that it's edited and you're seeing highlights of their training. And you get the impression that these guys are with the music and all that, and then the voice, the talking, and the mindset stuff, and you're like, man, these guys wake up at 4 a.m. and train until 4 p.m., 12 hours a day, and they don't sleep, and and they're doing this every single day, but no, actually they periodize it. So what that means, periodization, is that there's moments in time they'll do things for a period of time, and then after that they'll take a break from it, and then after that they'll come back, and then they'll go into some kind of other phase, endurance phase, power phase, yada, and then they try to peak for competition. So there's a lot of ways to go about it. I'm just generalizing here, but it's not what it seems like. Now, if your coach is telling you to go hard, he's a moron. Okay, because all that's going to do is, okay, you're going to get good at pushing yourself, which is important, but you're just going to get injured. And you're not necessarily going to get any better at all, unless there's a lot of intelligence behind how your approach is and how smart your training is. Okay, so training smarter, what does that even look like? What does that even mean? Because we hear that, like, don't work harder, work smarter. Okay, but what does working harder, smarter actually represent? What does it look like? What, in terms of actions, in terms of mindset, in terms of training? Okay, so the first thing I would say is consistency. Consistency is where it's at. So you have to be doing, but you have to be doing the right things and being consistent doing the right things. And doing the right things, well, that's something that that's a couple of videos in itself. Your coach is supposed to be able to guide you with that, to do the right things and to be consistent. Now, the other thing, you have to be technical. When you want to train smart, you have to be technical. So for judo, for BJJ, like technique, you know how that saying, technique conquers all? Not necessarily true, but it does help. It does help tremendously. You have to have technique, and then of course, then the power, the strength, the endurance, and all that to support your technique. Now, the other thing is that you actually have to study the discipline, study the games. You have to do the things that actually matter. So I'll give you guys a quick idea of what I mean, because every single one of these points, guys, it's a video in itself. It's a video series in itself. Okay, so once you know how to break fall in judo, like you really know how to break fall, you can you get thrown and you're okay. You can do it on pavement. You can do it. Don't do it on pavement, but you're very confident that you could if you wanted to. If you were thrown on pavement, you get thrown in competition. You get thrown all the time, no problem. You're not getting hurt. Then you don't have to spend all that much time, like sharpening that skill anymore. I mean, it's good. Then you move on and then you practice on the stuff that matters. So, on the setup, on the grip fighting, on the throws, on, your strength, your endurance, understanding the game, understanding the sport itself, the martial art, the concepts, like you have to focus on, you have to study the martial arts, and it's a lifetime study, guys. It's not like you could learn all of this in, it takes a lifetime to master just one art, and sometimes even just one component of that martial art. Okay, now the other thing, safety. Training smart means that you're being safe, so you have to be safe for yourself and you have to be safe for your partner. So you have to take care of yourself and you have to take care of your partners. If you don't take care of your partners, then you're an idiot and no one's going to want to train with you, and that's not a good thing. Okay? Now, the other thing, you have to be flexible. Okay? And I know there's a saying as well, you know, you want to be mobile, not flexible. Well, the thing is, I think they both go hand in hand. Like, you need a certain level of flexibility to have the mobility, and if you have mobility, you have flexibility. So when I say flexibility or mobility, I'll use them interchangeably, but you have to have that. You can't let your body seize up and then lose its mobility. So you have to check that regularly and make sure that it's on point. And that way you'll know that if something's wrong. Like if you're able to, you know, you have this full range here and then all of a sudden you don't have it anymore on this side, like, you know, something's wrong. So you know you have to address it. You have to take care of it. Okay, the other thing is conditioning. So conditioning, that means that not only just conditioning the body to make it harder, that's important, okay, for longevity and to avoid injury, but conditioning in the sense that you have your cardiovascular system, your muscles, right? How strong and how endurant they are. Like, those things are important. Now, how do you do conditioning? I'm just going to touch on it briefly, but you want to do it on separate days, not on the same days that you actually do your training. Like if I'm doing judo today, then I don't want to be conditioning the same day, or at least not in the same session. Now, if you don't do it a separate day, it should actually be done at the end of the class. The mistake that I see a lot of clubs do is that they do the conditioning at the beginning. Like, that's insane. So you're getting your body tired, and then after that, you're going to go do judo. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster, for injury, because now you're tired. Your muscles are tired, everything's fatigued, and your reaction's not where it should be. Your timing, and a fatigued muscle is a muscle that has a very high chance of getting injured. Okay, because you're fatigued. If you're tired, like, man, you're not gonna be as strong. You're not gonna react necessarily the same way or the way that you want to. You don't have the stability, you don't have the endurance anymore, the strength is. So honestly, if you do any kind of conditioning, it has to be at the end of the class, after the technical practice, after the practice of the sport. You could do the conditioning, right? Because then who cares if you burn yourself out? Doesn't matter. But if you imagine this, thought exercise. You go to a competition, right? Competition day, you show up there and you do 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 squats, 1,000 chin-ups, and then you run 10K, and then you go fight. So why would you do that in class? To build mental toughness? You don't need it. I believe you don't need to build mental toughness like that. That's actually, you are building mental toughness, but you're actually also going to essentially bust yourself up. Okay? Now, next thing, you need to understand sleep and nutrition. You have to have quality sleep, quality nutrition to support everything that you're doing. If you don't have that, garbage. Okay? Now, and the other thing, hard randori, no more than once a week. I made a video about this, but guys, the things that are very important bear repeating. So I'm going to repeat myself all the friggin' time in all my videos about the stuff that I believe are really going to help you guys, right? So hard randori, not more than once a week. Once a week is like, man, you did pretty well on that randori. You didn't take too much damage. You know, you recover properly during the week. There's so many things that happen, but once a week tops. Okay, it could be once every 2 weeks, once every month, and it depends on your goals and all that as well. So, yeah, that's one of the other points. And here's the other thing: if you know how to do light randori, then it could be done every day. But the thing is, if you know how to do it, okay, and that takes a little bit of time to get there. If you're trying to figure it out on your own and you're surrounded by a bunch of crazy people, savages, very competitive, aggressive, and who can't go light or who don't want to go light. But sometimes it helps if you actually have someone to show you how to go light and to explain to you, hey, chill out, relax the grip, watch, do it like this, do it like that, teach you by example, okay? So that's it for this video, guys. If you like this, subscribe. Okay, and of course, share this with maybe somebody who needs to hear all of this. and let me know what you think. This is an overview, and let me know of how it looks like to actually train smarter, not harder. Like harder, this is what it means to train smarter. And if you're training smarter, you are actually training harder. But if you're just meatheading it and training harder, and you're just not getting better and just accumulating fatigue and injuries, then you don't know what you're doing. And if you were sold that by your coach, it's because your coach doesn't know any better. And that's it. So let me know what you think. Which part of this would you guys would like me to break down more? And of course, what are your thoughts on this? Do you agree, disagree, and all that? And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.